Great awakening, light lords, and grand rising to those who have not yet awoken to the fact that you cannot discriminate. You cannot discriminate against another being, another part of yourself, just based on the color of their skin. You cannot go against another part of yourself just based on the ethnicity of that being, on the quote-unquote ethnicity or the quote-unquote race of that being. And we are all one race, and we are all one consciousness, experiencing itself in multitudes of different ways. Now, first of all, I want to touch on the history of our genetics. The history of our genetics has always been just as anything in this realm has always been. Anything in this realm that you can see has always been just in different forms. So you got to think about this. All is mental, and you got to think about all of the hermetic principles, all of the natural laws that hold together your consciousness, your conscious experience of this reality, and every other being conscious experience of this realm. It has always existed. See, the law of polarity states that the opposite of one thing, that the law of polarity states that for one thing, there's an equal and opposite thing. That means that there are no true opposites. That means that whatever is high, whatever you think of as high has a low. And whatever you think of as low has a high. So if you were to take a telescope and look in the sky and you can't see far enough to see what you want to see, you eventually make another telescope that can see farther and farther. And so on and so on. It will keep going forever, for infinity. Just the same way with the microscope. If you want to see lower and lower and smaller, you're going to create smaller and smaller, or create microscopes that can see smaller and smaller and smaller, infinitely. This means that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed from one form to another. So that means that there is no beginning or end. In fact, in objectivity, there is no beginning or end. So we must relate this back to ourselves as being human beings walking on this plane of existence and experiencing this reality. We have to know that human beings have always existed in many different forms. The forms that we're in primarily come from the star systems. All of the star systems and constellations that contain consciousness, conscious awareness, are being beamed through the subconscious realm of the waters of Nu into this realm we call the earth plane, creating what we call history. You see, we developed our own bodies from the magnetic vibrations, the unseen spheres around the earth, through the light that we shot out through our minds, through the mind of the all that we truly are. And we hit these spheres on this plane of existence and brought ourselves here through this plane, using what's on this plane, using the energy that was already here and always has existed. So we have always been in existence. But any plane we go to, any plane that we go to, any life-bearing place in the universe, or what we call the universe, or what we call the multiverse, or whatever you want to call it, existence and reality that goes infinite in every way, it's always like what we call the earth plane. But you see, all of our other energies come from our energies that are within our bodies, in our genetics, and in our heads, and help us express our personalities, come from everywhere else. Because this plane is also an accumulation or a different formation of all of the energy of everything else. We have always existed. So when it comes to the history of different nations and why we should be against certain nations and all of that, yada, 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 why we should treat other nations different ways, it's all bull crap. Because we are all one being, experiencing life in many different forms. Just like when you relate it back to the mind of the all that is, and how everything is an expression, a different expression of the energy that has always been existence. A different expression of the energy that has always been in existence. You see, we come here and we make our bodies through the light. But you see, our bodies have substances in them that tell us exactly what type of light or frequency of light we need, what part of the earth we need to be in, and how we should behave within our environments. What environments should we think within ourselves to act out and become a part of in what we see as outside of ourselves. And see, we have this substance that takes in the light and utilizes specifically for what it needs to be used for in every moment. It's called melanin. If you look up through a occultic study, they call it occultum. Okay? Through esoteric study, they call this thing this substance, this dark substance, is called melanin. Melanin. But you see, the black activists, so-called black activists, took this and said, okay, we have melanin, this dark brown substance in our skin. We must be more superior because we can take in more light and use it for what we want to do. But no, that does not mean you're superior. There is no superior but the mind of the all that is. And the mind of the all that is encompasses everything. So there's not one specific type of human being that is superior to the rest of them. And see, the quote unquote white people, they take the quote unquote black people's information, or the more melanated beings, the original beings that were more melanated and can utilize their knowledge greater because of the quote unquote black person's mentality is not set up how the quote unquote white person's mentality is set up in this realm right now. And you can clearly see this when you go on social media, when you look at how many people are in certain what type of people are in certain neighborhoods around the earth plane. You can clearly see this, that more quote unquote white people are getting things done than quote unquote black people. And why is this? See, it's because they have generalized melanin. They have generalized the substance within our bodies that takes in that sunlight and uses it for what it needs to be used for within the body. You see, those quote unquote black people are quote unquote black people, or the dark brown part of our race. They have more melanin on the outside, but they probably don't have much melanin on the inside. I'm not saying everyone, I'm just saying that a lot of us, a lot of the dark brown people on this planet, they got a lot of melanin on the outside, a lot of storage of energy that they can use. Very, very energetic people, very energetic, but they're using it for the wrong things. They're using it in the wrong system, the wrong state of thinking, or the wrong mentality. And see, these quote unquote white people, they don't have much melanin on the outside, but you see, they got some melanin on the inside. See, it's three different types of melanin. See, hey, they not, a lot of people don't talk about this, okay? They just say melanin all day. But it doesn't matter if you got all that power from the melanin that's on your skin charged up and ready to use all that energy, and you're using it for bullshit, going around robbing, killing, making up plots to steal, or making up plots to take an awareness away from a certain amount of people so you can manipulate them into making your environment what you want. That's the state of Babylon. So I don't care how much melanin you have on your skin. If you're using that for the wrong thing, if you're using that energy that's going throughout your body to help you throughout your life for the wrong reason, then you are Babylonian. You are the lower self. You are hellish. You are a devil. And you are worse than what you call the white devil, because you are melanated, heavily melanated, and you are not utilizing and constructively correcting the way you use it. These three different types of melanin are the eumelanin. First, the one that's on the skin. That is the one that holds the power. This is the one that gives the energy to the battery in your cell phone that you are. Okay? This is the one that takes in all the energy from the sunlight and stores it, all the whole electromagnetic spectrum, invisible and invisible light. It takes it all in. Okay? And it stores it in your skin, and it's utilized for many different things. It's utilized to help create your bone, help create all of it, basically help to energize all of your body. Then you have the phenomelanin. The phenomelanin is what's in your, it's a reddish melanin. It's what's in your eyes, hair, and skin. Okay? Now, this reddish melanin is here to actually help you work out the mechanics of how you move your body. Work out the mechanics of how you see existence. That's why it's in your hair, skin, and nails. See, your nails have are like they absorb the sunlight, right? That's why they're clearish looking. They're clearish looking. They're tannish looking. That tannish looking color within your nails is the phenomelanin. The whitish looking, or the color in your cornea, in your iris, that's phenomelanin. That's what helps you take in energy, helps you utilize and express the energy. But then you have the neuromelanin. See, this is the melanin that is around your head. It's around your brain. And this is the melanin that gets programmed. This is programmable melanin. This is the melanin that helps you experience through your own specific type of perspective this reality that you see. This is the melanin that helps you think a certain way. This is the melanin that helps people see you a certain way, so that that energy can be correctly, properly responded or properly reacted to and transformed through your own specific type of filter of consciousness. So these three different types of melanin, you must actually focus on them and see what's going on. See, dark brown people, they got a lot of eumelanin. Facts. They got a lot of eumelanin. And they might have a lot of phenomelanin. But if that neuromelanin that outlines your brain and trickles down your nervous system to give you life and personal expression, individualistic expression, is not programmed right to utilize the energy that it's getting from the eumelanin and the phenomelanin, then everything's not in order. What you must do is you must know that your neuromelanin is what makes your natural ego. It makes your natural personality, how you're going to respond to everything, how you're going to see reality. Your eumelanin is just taking in the energy so that it can experience something. Then the phenomelanin is helping the eumelanin to get to the neuromelanin, and also helping the neuromelanin to be expressed. See, the phenomelanin is the middleman. The eumelanin is the plug. The phenomelanin is the middleman. And the neuromelanin is where they're getting all all of the product, the whole experience of what you want to accomplish, to get done. The eumelanin gives you the energy to do it. The phenomelanin helps you get connected to experiencing, utilizing that energy, and then the neuromelanin is there so that it can be experienced. This is the type of thinking that we have to have. We must break things down specifically into their detail and finite and minute details, so we can know exactly how everything is going on in this realm and why. There's a reason that all of these lighter brown people in the world have more neuromelanin. You see, we've been through many things. Slavery still going on all around the world, physical and mental. You see, these are parts of ourselves. The lower self, what you think is the lower self, is not really the lower self. The lower self is a mentality, a thinking state, a being that can do a lower level thinking state. Now, see, we've been through so much. So now the reality is teaching us that we should not discriminate against one another, that we should only embrace each other, those who have found out what's in their neuromelanin. When you come out your mother's womb, when you put her through to this reality, through what you call your mother, you have neuromelanin on your skull. And the reason that your skull is very soft, you have neuromelanin in on your brain, under your skull, I meant to say. And the reason your skull is so soft is so that while you're coming out of your mother's womb, all of the celestial energy, all of the cosmic rays from your other selves that have now become subconscious programs for you to make and experience your individualistic self can hit that neuromelanin through your skull. All of the cosmic solar energies, all of the spectrum of electromagnetic energy, all of the spectrum of light can hit your skull and your central nervous system and activate you. Activate your device that you call your body. And see, when you study your astrological energy, you will find out that this is your neuromelanin. Well, you will find out that these programs or these astrological signs and houses and symbols are all programs, all coded information that's within your neuromelanin. But see, a lot of people, they got debilitations. They got things that's hindering them naturally within their, to help them, to teach them, to overcome these things so they can reprogram their neuromelanin. And a lot of these things are within the dark brown pigmented, the dark pigmented beings. Facts. And hey, because a lot of the light brown beings living in the sun, when you don't have that neuromelanin, there's nothing about the different types of melanin. The lighter pigment beings, they might have a lot of neuromelanin on the inside, or they might have a lot of phenomelanin and use their neuromelanin for bullcrap. But since they don't have that connection, since they don't have that connection, that primary connection to get the power, to get the source, to charge their batteries, they're leaving. They're dying off. This is also to teach us something. Everything that's happening in this realm is to teach you. Anything that's happening in this realm, see, this realm is a simulation. So everything that's happening in this realm is for study and observation. You're not going to study and observe something without learning from it. And if you do, you're not studying and observing, because studying requires learning and memorization, and then utilizing what you have learned. There's a reason that a lot of these dark brown pigmented people have debilitated programs within their neuromelanin. It's so that they can overcome them. This is the time. This is what this realm is for studying observation, so that it can be used for growth and betterment. Once you overcome your debilitations, that's why it's so imperative to study your astrological energy, because your astrological energy is the program that your neuromelanin holds for you to experience life and express yourself throughout life in the right way, or in whatever way that it's programmed to. When you see that you have these debilitations, once you look at your astrological energy and you study it, and you look up to the stars and you study them and you connect it all back to yourself, and you see that these programs are within your neuromelanin, you can actually reprogram your neuromelanin by reprogramming how you respond to certain things, reprogramming how you seeing certain things, reprogramming what you actually doing with your astrological energy and the programs that are trapped within your neuromelanin. And now when it comes to these quote unquote lighter beings, they have more neuromelanin. I mean, they have better programs within their neuromelanin. It's to show us, it's to show everybody that there should be no discrimination. There should be only prosperous oneness between you and everything else around you. Peace. This is to show you that some of these lighter brown beings are more melanated than you on the inside. And you should connect with these beings, not shun them for their eumelanin, because you should have grace and mercy upon them, knowing that you are God, walking this plane of existence in human form, and the fact that they have a chance to experience this godhood. They have a chance to experience the greatness that we are. And not be what you think of them as white devils. Not be the white devils. They also have a chance to be God, as they already are. And they, in that type of consciousness, their consciousness that they hold within their neuromelanin, the programs that they hold within their neuromelanin, and will reintegrate back into what you see as the dark brown people, because melanin is melanin. Melanin, just like the mind of the all, just like everything is correspondence. So you got to look at it like this. Just like the mind of the all and how it expresses everything in multitudes of different ways, and we are the expression of it, melanin does the same thing. Melanin has broken itself up into many different types of forms and arrays of combinations to create many different things, so that it can filter all of the genetic defects, all of the things that it doesn't need out, just as the DNA does when it filters out genes and genetic defects. So you must have that grace and mercy, that pity on the less melanated being. You should come to them and do your best. You should get your mind right first Go overcome your debilitations within your chart. See how it's connected to you. And then do your best to go out and help those lighter beings, those lighter brown beings that have highly efficient neuromelanin, but don't have that much eumelanin. Help them to get back to the state to where they can have more power to power their neuromelanin and their phenomelanin. Help them get back to the place where they can grow their eumelanin so they can be able to power their devices more strongly and more efficiently and effectively and use that neuromelanin correctly. JAH MASHIAC is here to enlighten the masses more and more every day. JAH MASHIAC is here to take away the illusion of separation for a brief moment so that you can see in between the lines of reality more and more every day. JAH MASHIAC is here to live his ideal lifestyle and to teach others how to do so as well more and more every day. We can't just keep hating on each other because of quote unquote race and all of these dogmas and religions based off ethnicity and religions based off quote unquote historical things. Let's start a new history for humanity. Let's start a new age for humanity. Let us bring in the age of Aquarius. Let us bring in the millennium. Let us bring in an age of knowing and understanding. And through that understanding, providing growth and betterment for all of humanity, no matter what stage of consciousness you're on. And let's get it together. Create what manipulates what's already been in existence forever and cannot be created or destroyed. The energy that you truly are. I love myself, family. Share and subscribe. Peace.